Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, June 19th, and Big Brother 27 kicks off 3 weeks from today. And we don't know a whole lot still yet. There's not a whole lot of news to report. I thought I would just check in. Maybe we'll get something today, and I'll have something to talk about tonight or tomorrow. Who knows? But for now, it's still pretty quiet out there. They announced the cast of The Challenge last, or officially. I think we knew the cast. I'm not sure. But like, America's in it, Blue's in it, Cedric's in it. I can't remember who else. If there's anyone else from Big Brother World is in it. But okay, whatever. It is what it is. I don't watch The Challenge, so I just was passing that on as far as Big Brother news. But I was thinking today, what do we know about Big Brother USA? Again, we don't know much. All new cast. We knew that. And they released on Monday or Tuesday, whenever it was, they had this thing, or they announced key art, like important art, like the central art around the program or whatever. But in reality, it was Julie standing in front of a wall of keys, literal. And I think someone counted there was 48 keys. Because someone on Blue Sky joked that there would be 48 house guests, which was funny. But they've been talking about secrets, and now they're showing keys, and they're old-fashioned keys. And it just popped into my head this morning, and it's probably not right, but we got nothing else to talk about, right? So, a couple of years ago, or last year, whenever, when the Traitors US came out, they kind of leaned into the Knives Out. Remember the Knives Out, or Clue? Remember the show Clue, the movie Clue? Those of you that may, or the movie that was out a few years ago, Knives Out. That kind of, the old mansion, the stuffy people, and posing in front of a thing, but kind of a murder mystery, right? Maybe Big Brother is trying to kind of use that. And maybe the keys are part of secrets and part of a mystery. And so I think maybe they're trying to lean into the Traitors vibe. And I was just literally in the last 10 minutes thinking, so how could they do that? Could they change competitions? Could they have a round table at the kitchen table? I don't know. The house guests often play the murder game to kill time. But could they use the kitchen table, the big, huge, round kitchen table, and do some kind of a round table? That wouldn't, usually you have a head of household that's doing the nomination. So I don't know how they would go about doing this, but I could see them trying to use that vibe, pick up that vibe, right? So, I don't know, just wanted to share it this morning, because again, I got nothing. There was a bit of a panic. Again, it was, I think this weekend, maybe sometime in the past few days, where someone noticed and shared it. Well, I think Dingo Hamster Watch posted kind of the schedule, and it said specifically premiere night Thursday and premiere night 2 Sunday. And it was like, wait, if Sunday is premiere night number 2, does that mean we're not going to get the live feeds until Sunday night? Nowhere did it say when the live feeds start, right? So people went into a bit of a panic. I posted the press release that came out in May that said just that Sunday was premiere night number 2, and none of us even bothered to bat an eye at it back then. I don't think that the feeds are not going to start until Sunday. I think the feeds will start Thursday night. That's my guess. I can't see them doing a premiere on Thursday and not giving us any live feeds until Sunday. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, they did it on last year. Premiere night 1 was on Wednesday, and then premiere night 2 was on Thursday, and we didn't get the live feeds until Thursday night. That makes sense. But having two premiere nights 4 days apart and no feeds, I can't see it happening. I just think they're calling Sunday premiere night number 2 because we're going to get more information that happened before the feeds go live. Before the feeds go live Thursday night, there will be, they'll probably go in Tuesday or Wednesday, and Thursday and Sunday's show will have a lot of content that took place up until then. Because Sunday's show will end with nominations if they do it like normal. And so that will, they'll have stuff to catch up on. Anyways, point is, it makes sense. I think the feeds will be fine. I think we'll have our feeds on Thursday night. What else to tell you in the interim? Nothing. Again, the show starts 3 weeks from tonight. We may or may not get any more information this week. People thought we're not going to get a cast. They've probably almost locked in the cast. It would be my guess. And, but, you know, that's, we know from past history and from house guests talking that the cast is not get officially locked in until the last minute. So there's a chance that somebody out there listening to this is actually going to be on Big Brother 27. Although I will be completely honest, and no one has ever said to me, I listened to your podcast before I was on Big Brother. So up until this point, no Big Brother house guest has ever listened to me. Now, I have had people that was aware of my Twitter account or my website or stuff like that, but not listening to this podcast. Although I will put a tiny caveat and say that I have had a Survivor cast member who listened to my podcast before they were on Survivor, I think. And I have had a Squid Games person who's listened to my podcast before they were on Squid Games. So how's that, right? Yeah, anyways, that's my call out to Brandon and Dash. So anyways, I just wanted to call in or record or whatever you want to say, a very quick little podcast talking about what we know, because we just don't know a whole lot. I hope this means I have to do another one tonight because we'll learn something, but I just wanted to loop you guys in. I haven't been talking a whole lot because I haven't had a whole lot to talk about. In other news, let's talk about social media for half a second. People are starting to come out of the woodwork. Most of you, if not all of you, are aware of my moving away from Twitter and onto Blue Sky. A lot of you don't do anything on social media, so you don't care one way or the other, and that's fine. For those of you, though, that are for some reason coming out of the woodworks and you know, showing up on Twitter and going, okay, where are people? Well, there's some people that will not be on Twitter this year. My Twitter presence will be extremely limited. Like, this podcast will show up on Twitter, but I will not be tweeting a bunch of stuff. I will be posting on Blue Sky, and that's where, if you want to see my thoughts and impressions on the show, other than this right here, that would be the place to go. There are some accounts that will be doing both. There are probably some accounts that will only be doing Twitter, and there are definitely some accounts that will only be doing Blue Sky. And then there's Threads, and then there's Instagram, and then there's yada yada, whatever. I don't do Instagram or Threads, really. I have an account there. I've posted a couple of times there, but I'm not going to be going there. So I've said all this before, but just bring people up to date, because again, I've noticed the people that are only on Twitter for Big Brother, some of them are showing up and saying, can't wait for this to start. So I'm seeing a little bit more action on Twitter, whereas the community on Blue Sky has pretty much been fairly active since Big Brother since last fall. So there's not necessarily an uptick in traffic on Blue Sky as much as just we're all there, those that have been there. So we'll see. We'll see who shows up on Blue Sky, who stays on Twitter, but it's going to be a split community for sure. And anyways, you just got to pick your poison, I guess. And I've made my choice. So and again, for those of you that somehow have been under a rock and don't know, I just decided I can't support Mr. Musk and his things. He kind of ruined it for me when he bought Twitter, and then just his getting political last fall, and everything he's done since then has just made me go, like, I don't want to support that. I don't want to support that person, and so I'm not gonna be on that site other than to try to get people off that site. So there you go. Anything else? Let me look at my time. I got 5 minutes, but I'm not going to talk for 5 minutes for sure. So I hope you guys are all doing well, and we'll talk a lot more soon. I did have my Spreaker, so Spreaker is still driving me crazy. That's the service I use to record my stuff. They actually sent out an email last week, I think, saying, hey, would you like to be involved in a panel or do a survey or talk about this services of Spreaker and everything? I was like, yeah, sure. And I replied, and I haven't heard anything. So we'll see what happens. All right, folks, that's it. I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful Friday. And we'll talk. Or no, it's only Thursday. Have a wonderful Friday too, but have a good Friday. And we'll talk to you when we talk to you. Hopefully soon, which means I'll have more information to share and we'll know a little bit more. But yeah, that's what's up. All right. Take care, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye.
Having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.